Okay, let's go ahead and take a look inside the box and see what we've got. Looks like it took a little bit of damage on the shipping in. I'm assuming everything's gonna be okay though. Let's take a look what's inside. All right, so we have power adapter. A couple of pieces here. Let's pull it all out. Oh, that's the bed shaker. Then we have the clock itself. Let's take a look inside here. All right. A typical clock unit. See the pivot here of the projection unit. It'll project the time and information our places. You have your USB charge here, DC, battery backup, and projection dimmer. So pretty straightforward as far as DC power in. The cable here, connect that directly in the back. You can plug this in, and so let's give it a test out and see how well it actually works. Okay, so as you can see, plugged in the back, we have power. So I'm simply dropping the back to the AAAs for the battery backup system. So in case you lose power, you still have your functioning clock. Tap those in, pop it over, all set. All right, so we can go ahead, get our information set up in here. All right, so we can then set our hours, and we'll want to do, you do 12 or 24. So I'll set it over to 12 hour versus 24. And for fun, let's say it's 3:15 here. So let's do 15. Get it all set. All right. And we are good to go. So that'll actually come back over in a moment. So you'll see you also have your dimmer here. Snooze, alarm 1, alarm 2. Turn the alarm on off. Also do the projection. So project the time up and out. I'll show that here in a moment as far as how well that projects on something. But I mean, you can see setup, function, pretty straightforward, really easy to use. And let's go test out. See a quick on off. You can see the projection turn on and off here with the simple touch of the button. So let's go ahead and test that out here, and we'll see how all that works. Okay, so for the projection test, I decided to show it here. Right now, about 3.5 feet away is how far it's throwing. You notice it's throwing onto a dark wall. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna raise it up so you can start to see it as projection increases as far as distance. So it's now moving up towards the ceiling. And what you'll notice is as it starts getting further and further up, and now it's at about 45-degree angle to the wall and projecting up halfway up the wall, it's starting to become harder to see on the dark paint. But you'll notice if it's light paint, you see on the door, it's actually very easy to see. And I'm doing this for a reason, so you can see as it continues to progress up, obviously now I'm throwing almost the full distance of the room up from 3.5 feet away. But what you'll notice is once it gets to the ceiling and the angle gets more direct, so it's more of a straight throw versus an angled throw. Instead of throwing at the wall, like 45, 60 degree angle, you'll notice that here I am throwing all the way up to the ceiling against a dark ceiling, and it's actually right next to the light. So that is actually a floodlight coming down from the ceiling. And you notice with the projection, you can still see it crystal clear. So even with the light coming down at my camera against a dark wall, as long as it's more of a straight throw versus a high degree angle, like a 45, actually very crystal clear, easy to see. So you can imagine how easy that's gonna be to see in pitch black when it's dark out, because you can actually see against a floodlight. Easy to catch. And again, you notice the difference right there. And that's why I chose this wall here, because I have some light, molding and things versus the dark wall. And that's probably the greatest degree of angle right there. From the ground all the way up to the ceiling. It's a pretty steep angle. Again, very easy to see in the light, a little harder to see in the dark, obviously. But again, as you reduce the angle of throw, it becomes very, very, very crystal clear. So it looks like it's gonna be a great little projection clock inside rooms to use at night. All right, something else to show you on the projector. So while it projects the light, for those of you who are sensitive to light at night, The nice thing about this clock, it also has a dimmer on the back. I showed you the dimmer switch when I was doing the unboxing. So if you press the dimmer switch, it has multiple level sets for dim. So you'll notice that's the full. And then when I start dimming, you know, it goes a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, really light. So you'll see like it's barely giving off light. And so it will not light up your room much because, you know, you're having that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and turn off the lights completely. And what you'll notice is very low light, which you saw before coming out of the clock. So the projection bit is very crystal clear. And you'll notice, right, as far as the clock itself, you still have the lights here. So that projector dimming switch is actually pretty nice. You know, so you can get brighter and brighter and brighter. So you get all the way to the brightest setting. So it's actually really bright now. And again, it's just that circle is what it projects out there. You got the time there. You know, this goes to pitch black over here. So it's not creating an aura of light around it all the way down to the clock itself for that throw. So again, I thought I'd show you the quick dimmer on there as well. Nice little feature to have for anybody who doesn't want as bright of a projection light at night while it's showing the time on the walls. All right, so as far as the clock itself, again, standard clock, right? You're gonna have your typical time, your dimmers, you're gonna have your snooze, alarm 1, alarm 2, alarm on off, and the projector. I did the, you know, over the projector. Again, I think it's really nice that it has the battery backup in case you do lose power. For those of you who need a little bit more to wake you up, you do have the bed buzzer you can plug in, plugs into the back. It's a little disc right here that actually, so this plugs into the back of the clock, and then when it does the alarm, it actually buzzes. So this device, put this, the super shaker in your bed, it'll actually vibrate inside the bed. So put it under your pillow as an example, whatever, and it'll help wake you up. But overall, I mean, again, it seems like a really nice clock. Great price point on this. Again, I love the ability to dim the projector. And again, if you don't want the projector on, you can always, you know, come over here and press the projector on off button and it'll turn the projections on or off. So, you know, it's off here. It was on earlier. So overall, it seems like a really nice clock. I'm going to give it some, you know, testing here. Obviously, it's brand new, and we'll see how well it works moving forward. Hope you found this helpful.